Welcome, welcome, welcome. You've just pressed play on the KIFCAST, the podcast that brings you stories from the road, new perspectives, fun, and hopefully inspire someone to get out and go after something they've always wanted. I'm your host, Jason, and this is Dustin. And today we're diving deep into a topic that's at the very core of kind of everything. The reason we're doing this, and that is the simple word fun.
Fun.
We all seek it, embrace it, savor it. From the belly laughs with friends to those heartwarming memories that put a smile on our faces for years to come. But what is fun, really? Why is it so essential to our well-being? We'll explore these questions and more in this exciting episode.
Oh, baby.
So before we embark on today's adventure of joy and discovery, brace yourselves because we have a big announcement towards the end of the episode that I think represents a new chapter in the KIF world. So fasten your seatbelts and embrace yourselves because the fun has just begun. Let's embark on this delightful journey together right here on the KIFCAST.
Wow. Well worded. Run it.
Welcome back to another episode.
Hey,
of
man, that's my name. Don't wear it out. All right.
The KIFCAST.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
Oh, wait, who are you?
Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, my name is Dustin Smith, better known as Bones.
Bones?
Yeah, dude.
My name's Jason Lorenz and...
Junior the third.
Jason Wade Lorenz Jr. the third. And hey, welcome back to another episode of the KIFCAST. What did you think of that intro, Dustin?
Like I said earlier, very well worded, very well put together, very structured. Almost like it wasn't even real.
Wait,
it was like,
are you accusing
unreal.
me?
I would almost use the word unreal.
Are you accusing me of using something like ChatGPT?
You wouldn't, dude. You wouldn't dare.
I would not. Hey, you know what? Guilty as charged. That intro was brought to you by the robots, by the intelligence of a computer. How do you feel about ChatGPT? Genuinely.
Dude, would you dare say that ChatGPT is really just the reptilians?
Like Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, of course. She's clearly a reptilian.
Dang. I'm not sure. Do you think when you put in like a prompt, you're talking directly to her?
She's just on the other end, like responding, like, "Oh, I'll give you another stupid prompt for freaking. I'll give you an intro for your podcast. Here you go."
She types really fast.
Hope you like it.
She's got to be like 1,000 words a minute.
Hey, dude, she's reptilian. All right, we don't know what's going on there. Maybe she has extra fingers.
Do you think she has like a special keyboard?
She probably uses her tail.
Anyways, hey, welcome back to another episode of the KIFCAST. As always, if you're joining today, thanks. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you for diving in.
Yeah.
Yes, I used ChatGPT. That was a test. And it felt really good, but it did feel a little robotic. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, a little robotic, but like sometimes the way it just uses words to describe things, it's like, wow, it's actually like a great way to.
It's beautiful.
To put it. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's like it was meant to write things or something.
Yeah. I'll have you guys know too, before we go any farther, I am wearing shoes today because I got comments about my feet being out.
I'm wearing shoes too, just in case anybody.
I got comments on my feet being out. I got like 3 or 4 random comments.
Dude, on the internet for free?
Yeah. They were out like no other. But hey, you know what? Dustin, what is today's episode all about?
Well, we're diving into the core of what this whole podcast is about. Fun.
What's that? Is it fun?
It's fun, dude.
Are we keeping it fun right now?
We always keep it fun.
What is
especially on this podcast?
do you have it pulled up right now?
I got it on my phone.
Do you have the definition of fun?
The definition of fun.
Merriam-Webster definition of fun, brought to you by the KIFCAST. Or Merriam-Webster.
Super important because obviously, like, leading off this whole episode, we do have to like define the word fun before we can just kind of like
I think so too.
Rip it apart.
Yeah.
And just dive into it. Okay,
dissect.
Look. Dissect even.
Yeah.
So the full-on dictionary definition of the word fun, it is a noun, by the way.
A noun, okay.
Just in case
we're nouning today.
The definition is enjoyment, amusement, or lighthearted pleasure.
Ooh. Okay.
Super simple. Definition there if you want to use it as an adjective: amusing, entertaining, or enjoyable, which is really just the same way to say it, just differently. So yeah, Fun. There it is. The definition.
What does the word fun mean to you? If
Dude.
let's start out base level, simple, and straight to the point. What does it mean to you?
Fun. What does it mean to me? Lately, okay, this is, I don't know, maybe going to kind of like open things up maybe in a deeper way, but I think fun has really kind of become more of a lifestyle for me over the last, call it 2-3 years, like a lot more emphasis on fun as a lifestyle.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
What does that entail for you? Is that like, obviously you travel, obviously you play hockey, obviously you do a lot of media stuff. What is it about your lifestyle that embodies that word?
I think it's not even about what you do that defines your fun.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Straight for the soul.
Straight to the soul, dude.
Let's
And that's
go,
what
baby.
it is. I think like on a like moment to moment basis, you can just be having fun. Like it could be literally anything that's going on, and you can make it a fun moment.
You think so?
Absolutely.
What is okay. I kind of feel the same way then, I guess. If we're diving into it like that, I think like you can take it at like face value, right? And you're like, oh, what are the fun things in life? It's riding my bike. It's going on trips. It's experiencing new things with my friends. There's a million things.
Right.
It's going golfing on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. as the sun goes down. Like there's so many things. But yeah, I guess moment to moment, you can kind of, going back to our mindset episode, let's reference that real quick. But yeah, you can kind of put a positive spin on stuff and and
well, I mean,
make
okay,
things
like,
fun.
referencing back to that mindset episode, I mean, like, how many times have you gone out, called a party, hanging out with friends, whatever, and someone's like, this isn't really that fun. And then you look at somebody else and they're having an absolute blast. Dude.
Absolutely.
All about mindset, what you bring to the table with that mentality.
Okay.
But like, okay, how many times have you heard people just talking about you and they're like, oh, Jason, he's so fun. Like he's just a good, fun dude.
Do you look at that as like a controversial take? Actually, I don't even have a take on it. I'm asking you, but do you look at that as a compliment, or is it something you maybe shy away of because you know how there's like, oh, that guy's super fun, but like he's too fun, right?
He's
So
a little
there's that
wild.
like fun
He's
guy
a little out there.
Yeah, there's that fun guy at the party, and then there's like the guy who's like fun, but he still has like his serious side. So how do you look at that? If someone was like, Dustin's so fun, he's the fun guy.
Dude, I love that.
Okay,
Because like I
cool.
try to bring that to the table. Like even when I'm at work, you know, working at the airport, when I'm playing hockey, literally anything that I'm doing, whether it's walking up to your house and ringing the doorbell 9 million times in a row just to annoy the hell out of Bill when we walk in.
I love it.
But like it's just little things like that. Like I'm always joking around. I'm teasing people. Dude, at work.
Your tormentor?
Dude, wait, what?
Tormentor?
Dude, I like terrorize people.
Really?
Like the vest that we wear outside, like there's Velcro parts, and I go up and I'll rip them off people. I'm just like doing stupid stuff to people all the time, and it's not like to harm them or anything. It's really just stupid stuff just to have fun.
I love that. So okay, what is something that, I don't even know how to frame this question, but what is something maybe from your childhood? Well, it would have to be from your childhood, but what are like the first things you remember as a kid that gave you like real raw joy? It was like the first things that you knew how to enjoy as, you know, something fun to do. Was it like playing hockey? Was it like swimming? Was it jumping on a trampoline or something like that, you know?
Okay, like going to my grandma's house.
Okay.
Going swimming. She had a huge pool. Jumping off the diving board for an entire day. Going to the beach with my dad. Like growing up in San Diego as a kid, it was like endless summer.
Dreamland.
Absolutely.
Dreamland.
Like, dude, when I first got my first pair of rollerblades,
You're a rollerblade kid?
dude, I man, I was like a 90s kid.
Yeah, I had rollerblades.
Rollerblades
too.
were popping off. And it was kind of funny because my dad had got me rollerblades over the weekend, and he dropped me off at my mom's house, and I came rollerblading through the front door. My dad tells this story, and he's like, yeah, your mother looked at me and said, I'm not ready. And he's like, have fun. Yeah.
Really? Just
Dude,
helped you out?
I rollerbladed right through the house, went right to the backyard, started skating around. Dude, I loved it.
That is so sick. Yeah, rollerblades. Do you think they'll ever make a comeback? No, they have. What am I talking
Dude,
about?
they're back.
Yeah, big time. They've been back for like 5-6 years now, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Who am I? Roller skates, roller blades. That's true. That's sick. Okay, so those are like your first memories as a kid.
Dude, a lot of fun moments to be had in San Diego. What about you?
What about me? Man, okay, so there's like really little kid stuff, and then there's like, I would just say like young skateboard, like 7-8 years old when I got my first skateboard, right? But then there's like the really little Jason that remembers like playing soccer and like loving it when I was Pee-wee in the Pee-wee leagues kind of thing. And then, visiting I would say something similar, like visiting family in Texas. I thought to me that was like a world away from where we lived when I was little, right? So like anything outside your immediate house is like a road trip, an adventure when you're tiny. So I remember just being like, oh my God, we're going to see my aunts and uncles in Texas. Like, we're going to go play on the pool. We're going to go jump off the diving board. We're going to go
Dude, the diving board. There's no more diving boards.
Yeah,
When's the last time you saw one?
Dude, I don't know, but I would love to go to a gross public pool and jump off a diving board.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, like when we were out on the pontoon boat, was that a couple weekends ago? Just doing flips off the boat. So much fun.
That's straight up like, yeah, that's one of those, excuse me. That's one of those things that kind of like instantly takes you back to being a little kid.
Yeah.
Like jumping off a boat, you're kind of puts you in the mindset of just like nothing matters. We're just jumping off a boat. We're being humans. We're having fun. And that's that.
Dude, yeah. That's it. That's takes it back to the childhood.
But yeah, I think probably that would be. And then of course there's like getting into sports and skateboarding and whatnot. So kind of, I guess, similar thing.
Yeah.
My version of that would be like playing soccer or skateboarding, but I remember being so small and just being obsessed with that stuff.
Dude, I have a question for you actually. Like, at what point did you kind of turn into this, like, I'm going to say wild and wacky, like, kid? Because, like, this person, like, your personality, like, you have this, like, kind of wild, wacky side to you that's just, like, would probably be defined as, like, fun.
I don't know. I think, what, actually, I think there was a lot of inspiration from people growing up. I would see how people interacted with others. For example, I remember going through like this is like, I guess, a detour from the fun conversation, but I remember going through maybe early teenage years, and certain adults, like very specific ones in my head. I don't want to blow them out on the pod, but there's certain adults in my head I remember would like always know how to make everyone laugh in a room, or know how to communicate with, okay, like it's weird saying this because I've never, like, I don't think I've ever said it out loud, but like my first boss, when I got my first construction job, he was like a family friend.
Yeah.
It was in construction, and he was so good at communicating and drawing and like making people laugh. The waitress at the restaurant when we'd go to the Home Depot clerk, any of those people. And I remember, and I think I was going through kind of my awkward teen years around this time. And in my head, it was like, man, I want to be able to talk to people like that, to make people giggle when they probably aren't loving their job so much at Home Depot, or when they're maybe having a bad day. Or one of my cousins is like the funniest human being on the planet. And I've always just like had such a draw to people that make people laugh and are good at it. And I remember even earlier than the construction job, that was, a huge thing. I was like, how does he do that? He can make anyone laugh at any time. Yes. So I think it was just almost this piece where I was like, that's what I want to learn and understand. And of course there's times and places for all of it, I think, but yeah, I don't know. And I think taking a detour into action sports and stuff too kind of opens the door to that. I was going to say,
I feel like action sports has its own culture of just kind of that like wild boy.
Yeah. And I think I would say, dude, I would argue that is probably also a big reason, because a lot of my friends growing up in the skate world, the BMX world, were just characters.
Just absolute ding-dongs.
And just nutcases in the best way. Like, some of them were genuinely like so funny, but some of them were like wild psychos that were just doing crazy shit all the time. There were always dudes jumping off roofs at hotels being crazy, making people laugh that way.
Yeah.
And then there was the people who would just make people laugh by just existing. You know, those people who can just like,
dude, absolutely.
they give
I've
one
met
word
so many
answers.
people through the hockey world that are just like
yeah.
the same thing. Like just their being is just hilarious.
There's like this scale of humor, right? There's like the dude who sits around the campfire and gives one word answers, and his humor's that, and it's dry, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Then there's the dude jumping off the roofs into hotel pools and makes people laugh that way. And there's like a scale, and you got to fit somewhere in between, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of just made that up, but
No, you have to fit in that scale.
well, there's like a scale.
There's nothing outside of that.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I think between a lot of those things,
Dude,
I just want to learn how to communicate with people and make people laugh.
There's a buddy of mine. We were working together. This is a long, long time ago. We were playing college hockey together. And he would wink at me, but it was like a blink. And he was doing it for like a week. He just started doing it out of nowhere. And I finally called him out. I'm like, dude, why do you keep winking at me? He's like, what do you mean? And it's like, but the way he did it was like he was actually blinking, but it was just with one eye. And I'm like,
Really?
dude, you keep winking at me. He's like, nah, I don't. But I was dying, dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you just started doing this out of nowhere. You're obviously winking at me.
Really?
And he was just like, nah, I'm not doing that. And again, one of those guys, like every word that comes out of his mouth, it's just like dying laughing.
Yeah, insane. Like the delivery, the way they communicate it. I don't know. There was like this, I just remember those moments. I remember thinking to myself, I want to learn how to make people feel that way in those moments. And I don't know. I think it's definitely like a journey, like something you can learn, sort of, but also maybe, I don't know, maybe not. It's kind of like music. Like some people are naturally gifted with it, right? And
Right,
then
yeah,
some people like don't pick up a guitar till they're 25, 30, maybe even later, 50, 60,
Yeah.
but they still learn it and they understand it. So I feel like, yeah, it can be an acquired skill for sure, but you have to, I don't know, maybe understand how to read a room to some degree. I'm not saying I'm like a
You think you can have
scientist,
it
but
kind of hidden inside you.
yeah, maybe.
And then some point in your life, something happens. Maybe you meet somebody or
Yeah.
like you just end up in this new environment and then it just unleashes.
Yeah. I heard someone say on a podcast like the other day, it was like, you know, I've never been, you know, the best looking dude or whatever. Grew
It sounds like a Theo Von.
yeah, I was like, I never was the best looking dude, so I had to make up with it for you know, comedic value. So
Yeah.
solid 7 that you know, can make people laugh, or 6. Fuck, I don't even know.
Dude, it goes a long way. Not even just like, I mean, in that whole space, but just in general. I think like, you know, you have these Captain Serious type people, and then
Yep.
you know, you have these people who are lighthearted and just kind of can light up a room. And like,
Yeah.
you know, one person is gonna gravitate people in a certain way, and you know, the other person's gonna gravitate people in a very, very different way.
It's also a really, when used, this is maybe even a dangerous thing to say, but it's also a really great tool.
Ooh, we love danger.
It's a good tool.
Dangerous.
It's a great tool to have because it's, well, I guess, again, if you know how to use it or whatever in the right times, the right moments, but it can take a lot of pressure off of you as a human.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you know how to make people laugh.
Well, I mean, even just like a tense situation in general, like whatever scenario in, like you make it a lighthearted situation, and all of a sudden people's, you know, they ease off, they chill out a bit,
Yep.
and like it really kind of diffuses a lot of things too.
Yeah.
But wait, what are you using it for? Are you using your humor to like get things?
No, I'm just saying, like, I
Are you using it
dangerous.
for evil?
Yeah, dude. I plan on taking over the world.
Well, now you said it, so funny joke.
The jig is up, KIFCAST. No, genuinely though, I mean, like, from the aspect of, I think it could take a lot of pressure off of you in a situation. You as in, I guess me, I can only speak for myself, but if, I don't know, it can allow you to revert situations away from yourself or attention away from yourself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, granted, when you're trying to make people giggle or something, like you have attention in the immediate, but it can like help redirect things away from.
I guess when you bring that up, like a lot of that can really be considered like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, big time.
And I'm sure a lot of people, myself included, like resort to like cracking jokes in situations to cope with
Yeah.
the situation at hand or whatever it may be. So would you say like at some point the fun mentality could almost be like a unhealthy thing?
Ooh.
We're looking on the other side of the coin here. Like it could being
Yeah,
super fun and awesome and whatever we want to call it.
for sure.
Could it be a negative thing?
I think it could probably be a negative thing, right? It's like it's kind of like anything. Too much of it and too big of a dose could be dangerous. If you're spending all your time doing things that don't, I don't know, provide value or contribute anything to. This is another like thing. I guess I haven't fully thought through something like that. But yeah, I think so. I think like moderation is a beautiful thing, and if you're spending all your time out snowboarding or riding your bike every single day of your life, having the best time of your life, but you don't have the bandwidth or the want to contribute maybe something,
Yeah.
then yeah, I could see where it, is a bad thing, or it could be a bad thing.
Yeah. No, personally, I think it's all about balance, really. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you go too far in the fun, funny, lighthearted direction, you almost kind of end up in this maybe considered like ditzy. Nobody takes you serious. You're not you're not respected.
You kind of run into like the boy who cried wolf situation.
Yeah.
Once you try to be serious, you
Right.
can't be.
Right.
It's like a character that you can't shut off.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly it. That's probably the best way to describe it. Honestly, I feel like I kind of fall into that sometimes, especially like with certain groups of people, because I always show up as this like fun, cracking jokes, always, pulling pranks on people, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like in conversation, especially in one-on-one, like I really love finding that balance between like, oh, fun, lighthearted, and also like we can talk about like serious things and like get into like real serious topics and talk about and like just find that balance of like
Big time
fun banter and like serious, finding meaning in conversation.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's important too. Like, I think that's definitely a thing in my inner circle, my friendships and stuff that I super value is like, we go on these trips, we have a blast. But at the end of the night, when we go to back to the hotel and just kick it for the night, shut off the camera, shut off whatever. Yeah, we're having fun. Maybe we're still walking around the city looking for candy or like we're sipping some beers or whatever in the hotel room and cracking jokes. But there's like still some value to the conversation we're having. It's not just the whole time like giggling. And that's its own version of fun. Because deep conversation and deep, that's like where the human connection and the human, like the realness. I don't know.
There have been times where I've just had like genuine conversation with people, even like you and I have had like real good heart to hearts. And it's like walking out of those conversations, like you really feel like, wow, like that was awesome.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Big time. Dude, especially over like a glass of coffee or a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Or you're just out in the middle of the city. Or dude, we've even had like deep conversations over hockey games.
Dude, yes, right.
we've been
at an event.
Yeah, with like hundreds of people around us. Like, I don't know, man. This is just
I don't know. Let me hit you with this one. I gotta No, I love that though.
Same. All right, so we kind of touched on this a minute ago, but as you grow older, just in general, obviously going from a kid roller skating around your parents' house and jumping in pools to now, what is like a different perspective on fun as you grow older or just grow as a human?
Yeah, I think we kind of did touch on this a little bit already, but kind of going back to fun being not about like the things that you do, but like this is something more than that. Like goes into just a mentality, really. Like I said, like being at a party, being at an event, whatever, and one person is like, oh, this isn't fun, I'm not enjoying myself. And the other person is like having the absolute time of their life. And like, it's just about perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think that perspective is really kind of the difference from when I was younger to where I'm at now.
That's fair. That's fair. Do you, I think I asked you this before because I have it in my little note thing, but is there any rough moments from your life, like a trip, I instantly like identify, whoops, I accidentally scratched the mic. I like instantly identify a few moments from random trips and stuff, but maybe in a rough patch in hockey or a rough patch in work or something that you identify as, now you're like, that was kind of like, it sucked in the moment, but it was honestly kind of fun to go through, or like maybe not even, I don't know, it was good to go through. And maybe you look at it as like a fun time now, a fun time in your life, a fun moment, a fun period in your life.
The only thing I can really think of, and it wasn't even that it was like looking back on it, it was fun. I think it was really kind of what catapulted me into kind of this mindset that I have now. And like there was a point playing college, club hockey where I was like, man, I'm struggling.
Yeah,
like, mentally, I was just like not in it. I wasn't feeling it, whatever. And coming out of that whole experience, even afterwards, playing beer league hockey, I was just like getting frustrated, whatever. And
Yeah.
going into it now, it's like, if it's not something that I'm enjoying doing, like, why am I doing it?
Yep.
But also like getting a little older, and it's like, okay, like I'm not going to be playing forever. Like now that's why I have this new refreshed outlook on everything. It's like, oh, I'm only going to be doing this for so long. So like every single time I play hockey now, like it's all about just enjoying myself and having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you, let's reflect real quick. Do you think you hit that allows you to fall into a flow state more often?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That little window of flow state.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, like it kind of takes the pressure off, I guess. Like you were saying earlier, it can really kind of turn a situation from, maybe a negative situation into a positive one. And I think when you're not so hyper focused on things going wrong or like not going well, or this isn't like exactly perfect or
being
whatever,
the best.
or being the best or whatever. And your focus can just be like, oh, well, I'm just here to have fun. And you crack a smile, throw a joke around here every once in a while, maybe play a prank on a buddy, and like you're just enjoying yourself. And it's just like everything just kind of like flows so much easier.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's super important. I think I kind of was just thinking about it too, the process, or I was thinking about it earlier, and I didn't take notes on this, but I'm glad I reflected on that real quick, because even the process of Keep It Fun, or the timeline of Keep It Fun, the brand, or the idea that we put out into the world, me and my buddies back home I know I've told this story a million times, but started it in 2013, whatever, as like, let's start an Instagram page. Let's make a couple hats for the kids at the skate park. Let's make some shirts. But it is interesting because when we started that, all we wanted to do was share moments of riding bikes and riding skateboards and hitting skate parks, or skiing new mountains, or spending time in mountains, hikes, whatever it was. We just wanted to be outdoors. But even now, it's like, Keep It Fun. Those are still at the core of it, and those are still values that it was born around. So I always want to represent those things and support those things. But it's interesting now, a lot of my values and what I want for it, and what we've done all this for, is like, to hopefully get people stoked to maybe make new products that are a little bit more useful to people, instead of it just being like, let's make hats and sell them to kids. It's like, I want to make products that people can use in their everyday lives, or help, streamline some kind of process in their lives. And
you mean like these Keep It Fun socks?
Are those KIF socks?
Oh, they're KIF socks.
You
What do you
rocking
think? Oh, come on.
Those are fire. Those are fire.
Dude, I love these socks.
But even like, we did a sample of them last year, but it was those little passport books, stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
where
dude, those are so sick.
It just makes more sense to, I don't know, hard to explain, but even the overarching idea of the company has kind of matured.
Yeah.
With us, with the humans that are involved. So
You think that's also kind of matured with your overall view of fun?
Ooh, yeah, for sure.
You think
Sure.
the brand itself has also matured with you?
For sure. Yeah, definitely. I think, and that's probably where that whole little spiel I just went on kind of came from. It's like, again, for the longest time, I traveled for bikes and blah, blah, blah. And it's all I cared about. And now it's, for example, a fun trip would be going on this trip in a few weeks to go to Europe. And there's pieces of it that, how am I trying to say that? How do I want to put this? But instead of, different things are important now on that trip, and different things are important moving towards the trip, like the build up and whatnot. So, but at the end of the day, I just want to make cool stuff that people want to rock. And, hopefully that, I thought my computer just died. Hopefully that people are stoked on. So yeah, fun. Keep it fun.
Keep it fun.
What a freaking process. 2013, 10 years of Keep It Fun.
Dude, it has been 10 years.
Holy smokes.
Dude, that's actually crazy.
Think about that. Yep.
I didn't realize you've had it going on for 10 years now.
I mean, it's only been a brand for 3. It was just, before that, it was just like, let's order some shirts from the local print place or some hats. But it's only been a real thing for 3 years, I guess. Wow. Even that's crazy, because COVID feels like it was yesterday. And that's when we launched it right before COVID, like 3 months before COVID.
Dang. It's crazy to think how long ago that was.
COVID's gone.
COVID is gone.
It's a thing of the past, man.
Okay, so wait, let's backtrack a little bit.
Let's backtrack.
Do you have one of those moments where, like, in the past, maybe it wasn't such a fun experience or something like that, but looking back on it now, you can say, actually, that wasn't so bad. That was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, there's a few of them in different versions of that, right? Like, I think a huge one for me was owning, so my first super legit business was the cafe in Colorado. And there were a lot of days where it was just hard physical work. Legit. This is working on the business, but also in the business.
Yeah.
Because it was just, turns out employees are very difficult to manage. And
that's your business. If they ain't there to work it, you do.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's moments in that where I'm so thankful that I went through some of those just shitty, rough days. And now I look back on it, I'm like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I adore that time of my life.
Yeah.
And then there's also, like, of course, kind of as I mentioned, shitty road trip memories where I think of now, and I look back on those and think about how in the moment my buddies and I were so stressed out, so worried because we didn't know we were going to sleep that night. But now I'm so hyped that I went through that. And I think, I don't know, sometimes stress is, like, kind of awesome.
Oh, dude, especially when you're with, like, people that you love to be around. It just kind of, like, creates that bond that, I don't know, like, you can't get a bond like that from not having that experience. If that even makes sense.
Yeah, you kind of gotta go through the trenches together, bro.
Yeah, dude.
We're in the trenches. No, but yeah, I think there's definitely different versions of it for sure. Mm-hmm. I will say it's not all of the things. Some of the things still I wouldn't enjoy it. Like getting injured on my bike. I was just thinking about, like, bad things,
not fun,
bad moments in my life that I would want to revisit and adjust my perspective on. But those can stay in the bad container. That's a bad cookie jar.
Yes.
But I don't know. How about the podcast? Is the podcast fun?
You know what, dude? The podcast, it's really stressful. Really stressful. Just sitting here hanging out and just chit-chatting about things.
It's hard work.
Yes, but it is fun. Like, definitely.
It is a good time. It's kind of, to go back to what you said earlier, it's kind of an excuse to dive deeper into things. Granted, it's on camera and it's being recorded and it's all over the internet, but once we kind of hit record, other than me looking down at the clock every few minutes, just to make sure the camera doesn't overheat.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's, you kind of zone everything out. At least I do.
Oh yeah. No, I do the same thing. And I mean, getting a couple episodes in, it was just kind of like, we're literally just sitting here hanging out.
We're just
like we would any other time, which is like a good time.
Big time. The first one at the Raleigh Hotel, the first episode that we ever did, I remember, like, looking at the camera a few times, like, kind of shaky. Not shaky, but just stressed out.
Yeah,
like, hope
dude.
everything's working. Hope everything's recording.
Oh yeah, of course. There's so many different things going on, and like still testing everything out.
Yeah, I feel like we still are to some degree. Every time I press record on that freaking thing, I get a little worried. But and I think the setup, the travel setup, if that's what we commit to on the next trip, that's going to be interesting to test out. But yeah, this thing is a good time. It's fun to edit too. Revisiting these.
Oh yeah.
Like tomorrow when I go to edit it, it's freaking fun.
Dude, like there's times even going back and listening where I like almost forget about some of the stuff we talk about.
Same.
And then I go back and listen to it. I'm like, oh yeah.
You feel like you black out ever when we're potting?
Like just in this moment, nothing else matters and nothing leaves this moment.
Yeah. But also like your brain just blacks out and you just talk.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
So, who are you?
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, we are in my house right now.
You live here? Oh no, dude. I gotta go. I gotta go, dude.
What's something that you're looking forward to that'll be a good time, that'll be fun, that'll keep it fun?
I mean, obviously our trip that's coming up, we're going back to Europe and everything. That's obviously going to be such a good time. But I mean, even just like the hype and build up to it, like we're still going through a lot of planning that we've been putting off for such a long time.
Yep.
That's obviously going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. I feel like almost every day is just like, oh, it's going to be another fun day.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
That kind of sucks. Dude, even like, okay, like I said earlier, like moment to moment, like I've kind of developed this thing where like I cannot hide my facial expressions and I kind of love it.
Really?
Yeah, like if I see something that makes me feel a certain way, my face shows it. And it's like almost this entertaining thing where it's like not even for like other people, it's more about just like it's more just about for myself.
You're like, I wish I could see my face right now.
Well, I'll catch myself. I don't even think about it sometimes. Yeah. And like I'll be in the middle of like giving this crazy face to like whatever situation, maybe someone, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll catch myself. I'm like, oh, that's probably not a good look if like someone catches me making this crazy face. But like it's just another thing that's like it's kind of fun.
It is fun. Do you at work and stuff, like is it like pretty strict on the
old
tarmac? Is it pretty strict, or could you whack a clipboard out of someone's hand? Could you play pranks?
Dude,
Can you do stuff like that?
This is another. Sorry, I just put this microphone way out of the way. This is another thing that I've developed, specifically at work. If someone's holding a piece of paper or anything that, like, you know, I have to slap it out of their hand.
No, you do.
I have to, and I don't know why. It's just one of these things. Like I do this like over dramatic karate chop, and then I'm like, sorry, and then I go down and pick it up for him. But like,
you apologize.
Yes, of course I apologize, and I tell them I'm like, I don't know why I have to do this, but I do.
You skipping away. You're just like la di da da. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, and it's even been in like super serious not super serious, but you know, supervisors giving me some paperwork that's like kind of a serious subject, and I'm still like.
Tim, you're lucky you're my elder.
Oh, yeah, right. And then of course there's my buddies that I do it to way too many times, and they hold it tighter.
They've
caught on. Yeah,
they put it in their back
pocket. They just know that it's coming. They just move it out of the way. But there's another buddy of mine at work. We have our airport badges and everything like that. He has it clipped to his shirt. Dude, I started just like taking it off and then looking at it, and then I clip it directly to his beard. And every time I'm like, I'm sorry. Like I get it. He's like, what is this? Why do you keep doing this? And I'm like,
does he have a super long beard?
He does. He has a huge beard.
That's sick.
And it's just like in that moment, I'm just like a child who can't like help himself. I'm like,
can't contain yourself.
Clip it to his beard. It's like, it's to the point now where he's starting to catch on. And every time I like grab it, he like protects his beard now.
Damn.
But these are just things that like, stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis. That's just like, it's a good time.
What about in the last year? What's the most fun thing you did?
The most fun thing.
The singular thing that provided the most joy. One year.
That's tough.
I know there's been a lot of things.
There's been a lot of really cool, fun things. We have done a lot. Oh man, dude, it might even be snowboarding. I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh, didn't see that coming at all.
Well, I remember specifically there's just a moment where like, I'm starting to like pick it up and feel more confident. And it's just like, carving back and forth and like there was one moment specifically. I was in New Hampshire, visiting my dad, snowboarding out there, and I just like went to make this turn, and like hearing the wind going past my ear, and just like that kind of like sinking feeling as you like kind of drop down in or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I love that. Like just that feeling was incredible.
It's, man, I've said it a million times. I'll probably always reference this idea, but my version of surfing.
Yeah.
It's my version of surfing. Oh, and that's only because that's what I've had access to my whole life. You know, I'm obviously not a good surfer, but yeah, that feeling of just digging in and getting a good carve, man.
Oh, dude.
Getting a hand drag in.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, just the sound of the wind like blowing past my ear, just like,
Yep.
it's like, whoa, that was crazy. But I will say, did we talk about me skydiving?
You did skydive recently.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
I forgot about it.
I kind of fell out of an airplane. But it was almost weird how like calm it was.
Yeah, you said you were like, yeah, whatever.
I was like, oh, that was cool.
And then you drove away kind of like, man, I just skydived.
Yeah, I was like driving home, and it's a solid like maybe hour drive or something like that from Tullahoma to back to Nashville. But I got like halfway down the road, I was like, huh, I just went skydiving.
Just jumped out of a damn
Just
plane.
fell. But it's something that I've continuously thought about since then.
Interesting. You think you need it again? You need that dopamine spike?
I don't know if it's a dopamine spike. It's just like kind of something new that's like, oh, this is potentially a new hobby.
Yeah, yeah.
Like something about, there was a group that jumped out right before me. And there was this girl that just like, almost like diving into a swimming pool, just like a quick little dive, whatever. She just dove right out of the plane.
If I saw someone do that, I would only hear that little bloop that they had in the videos. I would hear that in my head.
Dude, something about seeing this human just dive out of an airplane, like, you know, the way I was sitting, I can see like them basically disappear out of the sky.
For sure, yeah.
I was like, whoa, that looked awesome. Then of course, you know, me skydiving.
You went tandem, right?
I went tandem, yeah.
Okay. You have to, correct?
Oh yeah.
First like 10 times you jump or something? Or?
You just kind of have to go through the certification process. And I think the first couple is tandem, and then you have your instructor. But like, of course, everyone there is like, oh, you should get certified. You should do it, because that was my 4th time. And I'm like, man, that would actually be a lot of fun to like pick up this new hobby of
Be nuts.
Okay, and see, with everyone hyping it up before I even went, they're like, even my instructor, he was like, you know, harnessing me up.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, okay, so this is your first time. I was like, no, this is my 4th. He's like, are you kidding me? Why are we doing tandem? You should be doing this by yourself. Like, we should be jumping together. Like,
dude, shut up.
He was like getting mad at me.
You're like, strap yourself to me. Let's go. Come on, man.
I'm like, no, bro, I don't want the
I'm not going without you.
Right.
Get up there.
You're a cool dude, right? Like, we can do this together.
It's full nuts to butts with this dude.
Yeah, but like,
That's
you know, with
sick.
them planting that seed before we got in the plane, it was kind of like, oh, like I can see myself.
Just a psychology trick. It's a sales tactic.
Dude, sometimes it feels like that, right? Like, no, you're gonna love it. Trust us.
Trust us, Dustin. You're going to love it.
Now you're a reptile.
Shoot, Hillary Clinton. What if she straps herself? You get up to the plane, she just straps herself to you. She goes, "We're jumping, Dustin." And
Hillary
she's on
Clinton.
ChatGPT.
She's also responding to ChatGPT prompts.
Dude, Hillary Clinton is the overarching idea of this podcast.
I almost forgot that you legit just read a full-on ChatGPT intro.
My bad.
So random.
No, skydiving looks incredible, and something I've always wanted to do, and I still haven't done it. But I need to get after it. It definitely sounds like something that would be really cool. I know Hunter's very animated about it, and he's been trying to get me to go. Seems like the timing never works out, or
Yeah,
the last time it was like 2 days before I was leaving for a trip, and I was like, I can't justify spending.
Well, it's that, and like kind of weather pending too. Like going out there and it's like, oh, sorry guys. Like,
oh, I was so hyped I didn't go with you guys that first time.
oh yeah, we got rained out straight up.
Damn. But it looks amazing. It looks so cool.
But like there's being kind of exposed to more of the culture, like not just, oh, as a group of us going tandem, and it's kind of that fun energy of like, oh, we're going for the first time, maybe the second or third, and it's just you're with your tandem group. This time it was just with a bunch of jumpers that were all doing solo jumps. Like there were guys in the squirrel suits or whatever, and you know, sitting in a plane with 20 other people that are like, that's their lifestyle. Like their thing.
Yeah.
Like they've all got their secret handshakes with everybody
Yeah,
before they
that's
go
their
jump.
hockey or
That's their hockey. That's their action sports.
Yep.
That's their, pickleball,
or
whatever.
snowboarding. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Big time.
So being exposed to that, I was like, wow, this is kind of a crazy culture because they legitimately just hang out in this hangar and they all they're like, hey, like there's another plane going up here in like 5-10 minutes. Like, do you want to go jump with me? We'll jump out together. And they're like, oh no, I'm going to skip this one. I'll do the next one. They're like, all right, cool. I'll wait for you. And I don't know. They just like sit in chairs and they just hang out in this hangar. And it's like, all right, it's been 30, 40 minutes. I guess I'll go up again.
That is so sick. Right. I have a couple buddies in the action sports world that have their certification and have done it for a long time. And, they're just badasses, but they're also the type of people who they get hyped up. But I think it's kind of the mentality of action sports. You get exposed to so much and you get exposed to so many of those dopamine hits, which where they go up and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go skydiving with the boys today. And that's all it is for them. It's just like their escape from BMX or their escape from skating or something.
But they need moto. That.
But they need it. But they're so calm about it. They're just like, yep, gonna go jump with the boys.
Yeah.
It's just another day in my life.
Dude, right.
So it's funny when I see again, Hunt gets super animated about it. He gets like, wow. He like flexes. He gets so jazzed.
Okay, see, that's what I mean. Like
he's
Hunter
like
with his
end.
he had that experience and he's just so energized afterwards.
And,
I
love it.
My experience, I was like, I had a blast. You know what I mean? But like driving home, it was just such a calm, like if I had just gone to go play hockey or if we had just gone snowboarding or like whatever, it's like, oh, that was sick.
Yep.
I got to get home because I got things to do, like whatever. And, but of course, just like anything else, the more you kind of do it, the more it grows in this different direction or whatever, and maybe even becomes less about the actual act itself and more just the culture.
Sorry on camera if you can hear this thing like farting.
What, your chair? Chair farts? Chair farts, dude. Chair farts are fun.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. As we... Dude, this thing is so loud. I'm sorry if you can hear this chair farting. Before we wrap this thing up, got anything else you want to add to the fun puzzle?
I mean, not really. I mean, I don't know. Kind of wrapping up that whole, I guess, skydive talk and just kind of like specific cultures, whether it be like skydiving culture, hockey culture, surfing culture, whatever. I think that's really kind of what it ultimately is about, is like the community and the culture and the experiences that you have with other people, but also from the group setting to the individual setting, more just like your own personal mindset.
Yep.
And do you got what it takes to keep it fun?
Ooh, dude, honestly, I love that. I'm glad you kind of wrapped it all
that
back.
Was actually ChatGPT. I just read that.
No, you didn't. No, that is cool though. It's interesting to think about it. Yeah, like kind of as a funnel, right? Is like you start at the culture, and that's kind of what draws you in, or maybe what keeps you in, because you love the people and the experiences. And as we say a million times on here, a lot of what we do is about exactly that. It's like the human experience, creating more human experiences, whether it's going on these trips and meeting rad new people, or going on these trips and just being a part of our small circle, and experiencing new things, but also, kind of being a little introspective and and reflecting on how things affect you.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, the rad.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, man. KIFCAST.
Yeah, what do you got, dude? We're wrapping this thing up.
Oh,
where are we going with this, dude? I know you had mentioned a little something.
A little surprise. Yeah. So the end of the episode is here, and I did, in fact, mention a surprise, an announcement, if you will. Should I do it?
No, maybe not, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know. You
just
kind of like briefly, barely mentioned it. It's almost like nobody would even notice if you didn't do it.
Well, here's the deal. For a long time, Keep It Fun has kind of been this outdoors brand. It kind of fell into this whole outdoorsy space. I made a rooftop tent because I wanted to make rooftop tents.
Because you like tents.
And I like tents. I like camping. I like being on the road. I like camping in the middle of the desert. I like camping in the middle of the mountains. And with Keep It Fun, I want to make products that I use, but also allow people to enjoy the open. Wow, I keep scratching this thing. Maybe my beard's getting too long, dude. 2 millimeters longer than normal.
Just full on derailed by the beard.
No, but I've always wanted to make products that allow people to, explore the open road, quote unquote, as freely and simply as possible. Whether that's like camping gear or what I'm about to show you.
Oh, the evolution.
The evolution.
The next step, if you will.
But I think it's time to start phasing some of that stuff out and move into things that are more important to me. And it's something that I've wanted to make for a long time.
Transition?
Maybe the longest time ever. Oh. We'll see. But anyways, my feet this whole episode have been nestled upon a sample of a product for KIF that it's the first sample. It's one of, I think we have 3. We have 3 samples in the world.
Dude, on the ground floor.
And
literally on the floor ground.
This is a suitcase.
Would you look at this thing?
This is
I love how you're just
suitcase.
like, this is kind of a suitcase. Like there's so much buildup on
this is a suitcase.
Boom, it's a suitcase.
I didn't know how to do a more grand reveal. But this is the first sample. I don't know what else to talk about, but it's an aluminum suitcase with really nice locks on it.
That's substantial.
They're spring loaded. Oh shoot. I was thinking about making a vlog about just these, but the first samples have all different size logos on the different samples and just to test out different sizes and how they look on everything. But we have a carry-on size and a check size right now, just 2. And the check size is massive.
Dude, it's huge. I looked at it the other day. It's massive.
But it's the perfect, of course you got to try to stay under that 50-pound weight limit because ain't nobody got cash for oversized fees.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And nobody has time for that. But it's big, but it's perfect. I think it's honestly like the perfect suitcase for a Europe trip.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, especially a Europe trip like we would go on because you need to bring clothes for cooler weather.
Yeah.
You need to bring clothes for warmer weather.
Yeah.
Because that's the type of traveler we are. We want to see a broad piece of Europe.
We want it all.
We want to paint with a broad brush. We want to see the mountains, the ocean, and we want to see Scandinavia.
And we need luggage that reflects that.
We need luggage, and you know what? This thing's going to probably going to be in charge of the podcast gear.
Dude, that's very important. And obviously, like, great choice materials to protect the goods.
Yep. All aluminum. Both are aluminum. I also have this thing. This is a chest bag.
Oh, you mean the thing that's been sitting there the whole time?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Guess what, guys? Surprise. This is a chest bag. And maybe I'll make a vlog and we'll go dive more into details on that. But then also right here is the last sample.
Hold on, before you continue, this is like Christmas. You're legit just like, here are all these new products that are in the works. They're being sampled. And it's like, they're not officially out in the world yet, but.
You know what? I've always appreciated brands keeping things under wraps. And I think it's super cool. I think when brands have the ability to drop new products, that no one knew about, but still they somehow sell out because that's the power of what that brand has.
Yeah.
The power of branding, right? For lack of a better term. I think that's awesome. But I've also had this thought of like, I kind of want to bring people along for the ride and show people like, this is how things are progressing. These are the products we're working on.
Part of the process.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little behind the scenes, honestly.
Yeah. So there's that. And then the last piece, it's kind of like a weekend bag / I've been using it as a gym bag, sampling it. It's a leather duffel bag. And it's got a little KIF logo, little debossed KIF logo in leather, black on black, keep it simple. Shoe compartment.
Dude. Okay, like the logo placement that you've always used on everything, I've always thought was so cool. Like super subtle, but also something like you love to put emphasis on like this logo is going to be in your face without being in your face.
Really? You think so?
Absolutely.
Man, I appreciate that a lot. I try to, especially this stuff. So I don't love logos on anything. Like,
oh yeah, no,
most of my clothes, even stuff with big designs, I don't love logos, man. Even if it's just a simple shirt that says to reference one of my favorite brands, the North Face, it's like, I just wouldn't never, unless it was like free or something, I just wouldn't like rock a shirt that just has a square logo that says the North Face.
Oh, you like simplicity?
Like, to reference that, most of the stuff that I put the KIF logo on, like the duffel bag is black on black. You can hardly see it.
Yeah, right.
If someone asks or someone looks at it, they're going to say, okay, cool. This thing, there is no logo. Granted, this is a sample. They're all samples, but the logo's on the handle. You're going to have to deploy that handle for anyone to see it. Which, listen, from a marketing person's perspective, their eyeballs are probably bleeding right now if they're looking at this.
Oh yeah, it's like the logo's hidden.
Yeah.
Until you unhide it.
But I like subtle. I like simple. Same with this thing. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's just embossed and it's super simple.
Yeah.
Some of our hats have stuff. T-shirts with big graphics. Yeah, I like to have fun with those. Like the big graphics.
Oh yeah.
But I still probably wouldn't just say like, keep it fun.
Right.
Maybe it would.
No, you're like, I love the subtlety, but like obviously this is something that you enjoy, something that you have fun with, and it like shows in the products that you put out.
Appreciate it. But yeah, that's the grand announcement. New products, completely new products. Been working on them for a couple months, and we're gonna be testing them around the world soon. Legit around the world. They're going to a few places soon. So
they're going around.
Yeah, I'm stoked. We're gonna test it with the pod gear. Gonna test it with normal luggage. I'm kind of scared. I had this weird thought in my head, like, what if that suitcase just blows apart and my clothes are fucking everywhere?
My God, dude. Just like you lose everything. The biggest nightmare you could have on a trip like that.
I mean, I obviously wouldn't have a problem buying a suitcase on the spot, but it's just the process of having to go through that.
See, dude, you think about things like that. Meanwhile, our last trip, I had to buy luggage and I got these like super cheap bags from like Ross or something like that. And like, that's what I've been rocking the whole time. You're like, what if my super sick new luggage explodes?
If this thing blows
over
apart,
the tarmac,
I'm gonna fall apart if these fall apart. They should be plenty overbuilt. That was the thought behind them, but all aluminum. Oh, you know what else? This is just me nerding out now, but you can straight up sit on this thing and roll around the airport.
Dude, that's That's nice.
It can support that much. Have you ever been waiting for like your gate and there wasn't seats, but you're like maybe backwards starting because you're carrying your backpack and it's got tons of gear in it. Now you can sit on this at the gate.
Dude, and it's got wheels in there, so you can kind of just like wheel
scooter around.
See, that's me as like I'm a freaking child too. Yep. Like that's something that I would do.
Let's make it happen. Hey, you know what? We'll have to replace that Ross kit you got.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got
that
some
Ross
samples.
Kit's pretty sick, dude. Like they match. They're the same color.
They do match.
They're kind of already falling apart because I tried sitting on them and they don't hold together as well.
Did they blow apart?
No, they're just like kind of dented in a couple spots and like
they crumbled.
Well, you know, they're not meant to last.
They did great though. They've been all over the world now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been on a lot of trips.
They've been around
in the last year. So
they got me through.
Hard suitcases, right?
Well, hard's
they're plastic.
They're relatively hard. Yeah.
They're plastic. Yeah, that's cool.
They're hard shell.
Hey man, they're badass. But yeah, that's the that's the grand reveal. Hopefully it lived up to the hype. I don't know if there was enough hype. But yeah, that was it. Luggage, stuff we're working on, duffel bag I'm really excited about. That's going to be my tennis pickleball gym bag. Maybe
that's a flex.
My little weekend bag. Who knows? Might go out to Colorado soon. It's got a little zipper section so you can put it around your carry-on too.
Dude, that's nice. Just put it on the like carry-on handle and just drag everything around.
Yeah, I might not even
bring an extra hand.
Yeah, I might not even bring a backpack on my next trip.
You know, a lot of like flight attendants and pilots have a setup like that.
It's
like everything just kind of hooks together and everything.
So nice.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Streamline the process. More gear to help people explore.
More gear to help people keep it fun.
Ooh, hey, you know what? This has been a really fun episode of the KIFCAST, and if you've made it this far, as always, thank you for giving us the time of day. Hopefully, it's an okay episode.
It's okay, probably.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? This is their new favorite podcast, probably.
Probably their new favorite podcast.
I hope this is your new favorite podcast, probably. But hey, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and keep listening. Drop us a comment for sure. Let us know how we're doing. And if you have any suggestions for an episode, holler.
Yeah, let us know.
You got anything else, Dustin?
No, man, my fun meter is pretty spent. I think I've kept it fun as long as I could. We've reached the end of the fun road.
It's over. Game over. Hey, guys, thanks again for watching. I'm Jason.
I'm Dustin.
And this is the KIFCAST. We did it.
We freaking did it. Your new favorite podcast. Probably.
Probably. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.